Dale Matthews, Grants Pass. I called into the Commissioner's Call-In show on KJO the other day, and one of the things I mentioned is that there were people at the previous board, including Simon Hare, who had said that, well, on this previous levy, every dollar is going to go to law enforcement or to services that are going to keep us safe. And I said, the problem with that is, it's not true that every dollar is going to go to that. And I mentioned that Don Reedy had said it, and the Chief Financial Officer had said it, and Simon Hare said, well, I don't remember anybody saying that, but I'll go listen to the tape.
I'm not going to stop you.
You are stopping me.
Well, then I
Why are you stopping me?
Let me explain. There's an element
Please
of
stop
our
my
rules.
time.
I have the discretion to ask for her to stop the time.
I asked her, please.
I understand that, but we're still working on your 3 minutes. So, you're going to let me talk?
During my 3 minutes?
Yeah. If I have to explain, the purpose I'm stopping you is to explain the rules. There's an element of repetitiveness that you come up before the board every time explaining the same issues. And that's not what we're doing here today. If you have a new issue, that would be fine. But we're not going over the same issues over and over again.
You are constantly going over the same issues because you keep talking about the levy, and now I'm talking about the levy. When you stop going over the levy or asking for repeated votes 5 times in 10 years, then I'll stop as well. So
Actually,
one of the
it's a
things...
different levy, it's a different proposal.
Oh, I know, it's totally different, right, I got it.
So until you have something new...
I've got something new, thank you.
Great.
And so you, Simon Hare, said, well, you know, I don't recall that happening. Well, you were one of the people who said it, so you should recall. The other thing which is a little strange is if you were debating whether someone should have said that or not, really the question is, you're now saying the same thing. So why would there be any debate about whether someone said it? You should say, well, we're saying it again, and so we're proud that we're saying it again. Every dollar is going to go to... No, it's not. I'll tell you why. The ISF. ISF could stand for insufficient funds, but actually it's Interfund Service Transfer, I think, or something like that. Anyway, the idea is that if any department that's funded gets money, they've got to share it with the departments that are not funded. They all have to do that. The more money you get, the more you have to share with the other departments. So it's not true that if you give money to the Sheriff's Department or to the DA, that they keep every dollar. They must, by your rules, share it with the other departments, such as the CFO's office. Now, why would the CFO get up and swear that every dollar goes toward law enforcement when her salary, which is more than yours, comes from the ISF? Any motivation there for saying something which isn't quite the truth? And if there was a problem with it being said this time, last time, why would you say it this time? You know, we now know, that it's not true that every dollar will go to that. And the May ballot, which I think it's a good idea, it's called the May ballot because of the word may. This money may go toward all the things that are listed. It doesn't have to. And as you said, this is repetitive, we don't even need to spend a penny on some of these things. Those are your words, not mine. I suggest that people do not sign you over a blank check. I want the funding for these departments also, for the sheriff and for the DA and for the... I want that too. I want to be sure it's going to that. And as Cheryl Walker pointed out today in a meeting, she says, people are asking me questions about where the money's going to go. They're concentrating on the quality. No, they're not. They're concentrating on whether the money is actually going to go there or not, based on what you've said. Not even a penny needs to go to the things you've promised. Thank you.
Anyone else for 3 minutes?
This came up on with Mr. Matthews. For the record, I am willing to listen to any citizen's civil input for uninterrupted 3 minutes of time. I think that's what we agreed to. I have no problem with that at all. And as long as it's civil, you know, if I want to try to impose what I assume is reasonable testimony, now that's something else again, it might be unreasonable by my standards, but it is still is that citizen's testimony, and therefore I think I have an obligation to listen to it, as long as it's civil. That's my only concern.
Agreed.
You agree,